It's Wednesday. Welcome to the Rich Lieberman Media Pulse. Those of you that listen to Sports Talk Radio, even though it's quite crappy, both the AM version and its FM counterpart, KNBR, and then we have 95.7 The Game. That is our crappy Bay Area radio in terms of sports, the very little radio that we have. In any event, today I want to talk about a transaction that is looming, and it has everything to do with money. That's what rules the roost, so to speak. That's what rules the day. It rules everything. Money, 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 money. Right? Money, money, money makes the world go round, and all that. It dictates everything. And with regards to what I want to talk about now, that has to do with KNBR, which is being run on a shoestring budget. And that's Cumulus, which owns and destroys pretty much radio in not only the Bay Area, but beyond. That's what Cumulus does. They destroy radio, and most aptly, radio stations, even sports talk radio stations. In any event, in their whirlwind of cuts and basically telling people to go away, the last round of cuts that Cumulus did in the Bay Area on the sports end was KNBR. And this was back in December of last year. And they let go of a couple of prominent people and image people and digital people and hosts and all that. And not soon afterwards, or soon afterwards, brought in a guy by the name of John Dickinson, fairly talented guy, mid-40s, covers a lot of the Warriors and he used to work at 95.7 The Game. So they brought him in, and he's got a title of kind of a fill-in talk show host, does, as I indicated, the Warriors, the 49ers, and the Giants. Talk show host, commentator, insider, if you will, that kind of a thing. So he's now one of their more prominent on-air guys, is Dickinson. And they hired him, got rid of a whole bunch of other people, and consolidated. So now Dickinson has been doing a lot of shows as fill-in and his other duties. Warriors related, baseball related, obviously, and of course, the 49ers. And now the question is, which nobody talks about, but I'm going to talk about it because it's going to happen very soon. That is, somebody at KNBR, one of their hosts who makes too much money, at least in Cumulus's mind, is going to get the axe. And then they're going to bring John Dickinson aboard, and he will replace said host. Therefore, consolidation. You have this guy who they're paying by San Francisco standards, very poor, but enough to, I guess, get by. And with consolidation in mind, it will enable them, management, to get rid of somebody who's not really needed on a station, by the way, folks, which is losing money left and right every year, which has no cash or very little, apparently, just to get by on a day-to-day basis. So let's go through the possibilities here. Let's start in the morning. They let go Polly Mack, which saved them about 250 grand, believe it or not. And they brought in this guy named Dorcas, or I think his name was Marcus. Marcus Dupree, who was working as a board op, kind of an intern type of a thing. He's about 30, 32 years old, I guess. So he ain't making a lot of money. Then you have speaking of kiss asses in an earlier broadcast, you have Mr. Buster Posey fan himself. You have Brian Murphy, who gets a lot of money. One of the highest paid people at KNBR, because Brian Murphy is a fan favorite of the Giants. He likes to kiss Larry Bear's ass. He does a lot of giggling and laughing, which immediately makes him high atop the list at KNBR. He also does lots of community minded things like playing golf with certain program directors who were once program directors. He likes to play golf. He likes to go out and talk about his toenails getting cut and plugging the company when he's not golfing and talking about various related shitty pizza companies in the Bay Area and living high atop the heap in the Central Valley and doing commercials for them and various credit unions. So Brian Murphy's probably safe. Okay. So that's from 6 to 10. 10 to 2 is you have the Papa and Lund show, or as John Dickinson calls John Lund by his last name, or Lundy. Now, my bet would be, and I know this is not within the industry take, that John Lund, whatever. You say tomato, I say tomato. John Lund is the next to go at KNBR, only because he's basically ass kissing Greg Papa every day. Does he still exist on the payroll at KNBR? But when money is at the forefront, doesn't matter about ass kissing. You either go or you stay. John Lund is expendable, has always been expendable, but he kissed a lot of program directors' ass. He kissed Greg Papa's ass, continues to kiss Greg Papa's ass. Therefore, in his mind and others, probably secured at least temporary security to be a talk show host at KNBR. Unfortunately, Lundy is in that area where he could be replaced. We all could be replaced, folks, right? Babe Ruth was traded. Willie Mays, the late, great Say Hey Kid, was traded, even though it was the last part of his career when he was playing baseball. Nobody is insurmountable. We're all subject to bye-byes. John Lund is the leader in the clubhouse. Dickinson can go in and work with Papa, who himself is expendable, but Papa is also the play-by-play broadcaster for the 49ers, they being a client on KNBR. That's probably less likely because Papa has made it very, very clear that he is insurmountable and, he's the broadcaster for the 49ers and, anyway. So, but John Lund, that's your leader in the clubhouse. They can bring John Dickinson in, and he can do the job that John Lund and Cumulus can save money, and then they can also tell the bankruptcy court judge who monitors their finances and that they have to adapt to cutting to show the bankruptcy judge that they're doing the best to cut expenses because, after all, they don't want to declare bankruptcy again, although they might have to. In any event, so let's move down the next time slot, and that is from 2 to 6 p.m. We have the Tom Tolbert and we have the Adam Copeland. Excuse me, sorry, Kobe Copes, Copelopes, Cope. Yeah! Yeah! He's still giggling. Adam Copeland. So Tolbert is still very popular. The ratings have kind of nosedived, but, and Colbert, Tom Tolbert is the highest paid talk show host at KNBR, making roughly $350,000 to $400,000 in that vicinity. He's been there 25 years now, even longer. So would Cumulus cut Tom Tolbert and say put Dickinson or pair Dickinson with Kobe Copes? It would not be shocking to me, not likely, but it could be. Could be. Adam Copeland, perhaps, as a replacement. Well, I'm not shocked at that either, although in that case, it might be a little bit more difficult. Cumulus doesn't want KNBR, doesn't want to face any more potential legal obstacles, which inevitably they would face because Copeland checks a lot of boxes, if you know what I mean. Therefore, unless he's let go by cause, it's having to do with certain texts and having political opinions about certain you know, I don't know, public address announcers and various political situations. Who knows? So, and then you have whoever the direct they have doing post game Giants, which doesn't pay anything, and therefore it's going to be amongst either John Lund or Brian Murphy or Tom Tolbert or Adam Kopikopes Giggles. I would say the leader in the clubhouse would be John Lundy Lund, who is, that's my prediction. And then you have John Dickinson taking over for Lundy. It would be a monumental sad day in Bay Area sports, particularly with Greg Papa. Greg Papa loves John Lund because he laughs at all of his jokes, even when they're not funny. He also makes sure, and even though he talks over Lundy Lund, which is not a bad thing, he continually talks over John Lund, it still saves the Bay Area talk show folks who are into sports I don't want to say, but it is the painful notion of actually listening to John Lund. Okay. So that would be my prediction. But again, folks, keep in mind, these decisions now are all based on financials. It's the only thing that they care about at KNBR. As well they should. And it's not just KNBR, it's 95.7 The Game, which I think is going to have its own come to Jesus moment. It's not going to be very nice because radio is so difficult to manage these days, particularly when you're not making money and you're losing millions and millions and millions of dollars. It's just, these stations, they don't have ATM machines. But that's just the way it is, folks. It's not always pretty. It can get quite dirty. So, Dickinson himself, nice guy, not very flamboyant, doesn't say a lot, but he can form a sentence or two. He's credible. He's done the Warriors beat. He knows his basketball. He does know baseball. He does know NFL football and the 49ers. He's a Sacramento guy. So, by that sense, he's really solid. And guess what? He doesn't giggle. That's his only drawback because it can be or that's if you have to be Papa or Brian Murphy or Kobe Cope. You gotta giggle. That's part of the job. Oh, you have to work for less money.